And welcome to Weather and Ag in Focus on this Tuesday. We're almost at the end of the month, February 24th, 2026. I'm Chief Meteorologist Dean Wysocki, and our Ag Director Bridgette Readel is in flight to San Antonio. So she'll be doing some work down there later this week, and I can guarantee you it's much warmer down there. So hopefully Bridgette can bring back a little bit of warmer weather with her. Although we do have some warmer weather coming our way as we head into this upcoming week. Not so much today, though. We've had a cold front come through the area, and boy, you could tell those winds whipped around to the northwest this morning. That was after we saw a brief period of some freezing rain overnight. That greased things up a little bit this morning, and then we had, some snow showers through the area, but those have diminished. A few flurries are still possible for the rest of the afternoon, but temperatures should remain steady in the teens for the rest of the day, and winds will be out of the northwest at about 15 to 25 and gusting up to 30 at times. Then tonight, we're looking at partly cloudy skies. It will be a cold one, 0 to 5 above. That's it. And northwest winds at about 5 to 15. Then as we head into your Wednesday, look for partly cloudy skies, lighter winds, mid-teens, and then we start to warm things up Thursday and Friday. Temps back into the mid-30s, so we'll melt away a little bit of this snow Thursday and Friday. Then another Arctic front hits on Friday. Our winds will pick up in the afternoon, falling temperatures with windy conditions out of the northwest, and that will lead to a colder weekend. We're looking at temperatures between about 10 and 15 on Saturday, right around 20 on Sunday, and then we're back in the 20s and 30s for next week. We do see a chance for some light snow coming in Tuesday, and we're still keeping an eye on another system towards the end of next week or that following weekend. We're getting into the part of the LRC cycle starting next week through mid-month. That is the same part of the cycle that we had, let's say, the latter half of December, where we saw a couple of storm systems ride through the area. So according to the LRC, we'll see those cycle back. Now, after mid-March, that's when we start to see a pattern change where we should be seeing above normal temperatures for that second half of March and into the month of April. The month of April looks like we'll have temperatures above normal. That doesn't mean we won't see any snow, but it looks like we're seeing signs of above normal temperatures, which is nice to see. And even in March, it looks like by the end of March, LRC had us in the 50s and maybe even a few 60s possible by the end of March. That's what the LRC has been saying. So we'll see how that unfolds. But I've got a pair of tickets to give away for the Home and Garden Show this coming weekend. I've got a couple of pair to give away. We'll give one pair away this segment, and then we'll give another pair away later in the show. How can you win them? Well, we're going to give you a little weather trivia here, and we'll take the first caller with the right answer. So the tally has come in terms of how many tornadoes that the state saw last year. It was a record number as well. And my question is, how many tornadoes did the state of North Dakota see last year? How many tornadoes did we see during our severe weather season last year? Any idea there?
One. It was a really big one.
It was, well, that would be the Enderlin one. That was
It was a really big one.
That was an EF5. So, all right, we've got a caller here on line one. Caller line one, what's your name?
That was Brian.
Brian, welcome to Weather and Ag in Focus. What's your guess?
45.
No, Brian, that is not correct. That's actually, Brian, that's not even close. But that's okay. Again, how many tornadoes did the state of North Dakota see last severe weather season? Caller, what's your name and what's your guess?
Tyler and 82.
You are correct, Tyler. That is right. Yeah. Lucky guess, or how did you know?
I'm just really good at Google.
Are you? Okay. Well, it's that, or we did have we've got that article on our website, WDAYradionow.com. So you want to check that out. Yeah, 82 last year. Tyler, for a bonus, if you can tell me. I'll throw in one of our bait up cups. Are you a fisher? Do you fish, Tyler?
A little bit, yeah.
All right, I'll throw in one of our bait-up cups. If you can tell me, there were 2 counties that tied. Which county in North Dakota recorded the most tornadoes last severe weather season?
Oh, man.
No,
Richland?
no. And that's one of them we're going to use later in the show. So, Tyler, hold on. Addison, you want to get Tyler's info? And Tyler, you know where our station is at, right?
Yep.
All right, just swing by during regular business hours. We'll have a pair of Home and Garden Show tickets waiting at the front desk for you.
Thank you, sir.
All right, you got it, Tyler. All right, so 82 tornadoes. That's what we had during our severe weather season last year. So, with that being said, it's luckily we don't have to worry about that. Now, somebody asked me, what does this upcoming severe weather season look like? And a little too early to tell, but kind of taking a glimpse of the LRC and in terms of precip, storm patterns, and what is coming up. But it does look like we are going to see a more active spring into early summer. Now, is it going to be as active as last year? Probably not. That's the way it looks right now. But I do foresee, according to the LRC, above normal temperatures for the spring and also into the upcoming summer. And again, we didn't really have very many active storms. What we look at, how active was this winter? And it hasn't been that active. So, but remember, last winter was not that active as well. However, we saw a very active spring. So again, that could translate again this upcoming severe weather season as we had a lot of storms that were close by, and again, the pattern that's setting up, I think we're going to see a slightly above normal active weather season this upcoming season with above normal temperatures for both the spring and the upcoming summer. So we're coming up on break here, so we're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to have Brad Olstad with Steffes Group, and later in the show, who's our other guest there, Addison? I've got this on my show sheet here. Oh, we've got Nate Thorsrud, and we'll be talking with Nate as well during the second half of the show. If you have any questions for our guests or for myself, be sure to give us a call, 701-293-9000. Again, that's 701-293-9000. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. And welcome back to Weather and Ag in Focus, 1:21 in the afternoon. And we got our special guest, Brad Olstad with Steffes Group. Brad, welcome back to our show. We should put you on the payroll. You're here so much.
Well, thank you. It's always a pleasure to be here. Tell you what, I'm treated like royalty every time I come in the building.
Well, that's good to hear. You're treated better than me and Addison, for crying out loud, right, Addison? When are we treated like royalty here?
Well, there was one time Steve walked me out, and that was pretty nice.
Okay. I won't even ask on that.
That'd be a sharing violation, I think.
Yeah, right. Well, if you have any questions for Brad or myself during the show, make sure to give us a call, 701-293-9000 on the JLA Insurance Hotline. Now, Brad, let's talk about a couple of topics we got here on our list. How about valuations on equipment and equipment needs so far?
Well, we're doing a lot of appraisals this time of year. Renewal season is hot and heavy. As most of you people know, at the year end, everybody has to reevaluate where they're sitting in their farm operation or ranching operation. And equipment values get to be a number one topic. Where's the market heading? Where's it going? I'm here to say that the market is holding very steady. 40 to 50% reduction in new equipment sales the last 2 years has shrunk up the used equipment market. So we feel that the bottom is in. And yes, there's going to be some complications out there in regards to cash flows and things like that. But the sky is not falling. It truly isn't. Okay. Price of new machinery is not going down. John Deere stock's through the roof. And, you never bet against Mother Deere. You just don't.
Right. Now, somebody shot in an email asking about tariffs. The tariffs that we had in place, did they have any effect at all?
They did, but it seemed like a lot of it was absorbed. But the appetite for the equipment, some of that's related to parts and manufacturers and things like that to get it back onshoring into this country. And I think that was very positive and proactive for the ag industry as a whole. Yeah, we have some heartburn out there, but we're working through it. We really are. And as far as the tariffs are concerned, did it affect the price of new machinery? Yes, but to the amount that people are thinking, not that bad.
Okay, and you said there was a shortage on used equipment?
Well, it's starting to shorten up. What happens is we had so much inventory in production in regards to 20 to 21 to 22 to 23. The demand was there. The prices were improved. But then we had this huge correction. And what happens when you have a correction in commodity prices? The pocketbook gets tightened up and new sales dried up, period.
Gotcha. Okay. Yep. Now you had mentioned, the sky was not falling, but not too many operations were profitable for the 2025 season. What do you foresee coming up over this next year?
Well, that is very true. A lot of operations really had to skinny up a little bit. There was some opportunities last year on the market things as far as commodities. There was some timing options. If you would have capitalized on that, you could have locked in some $4 corn, but you would have had to been very smart about when to pull the trigger. Looking forward, government payments. Government payments are going to be huge this year. They just announced support for the sugar. Sugar has really gone through a tough year. There's been a lot of talk out in the countryside. They're exposed to some issues out there in regards to what's happening with the food environment right there. But they are going to get some help. The bridge payments that everybody's looking at, it's going to be a Band-Aid approach to some operations. It's just time will tell. It really will. But they are counting on it, and there's a lot of cash flows that are depending on it as well. And everybody's just hoping for a slight bounce in the commodities. If we could get 50 cents in corn and $1.50 in soybeans, there's a lot of pressure that would be taken off some of these operations. It's tight right now.
Right, yeah. And obviously, we've got planting season coming up around the corner. And, I was taking a look at what this upcoming spring looks like weather-wise. And droughts are either contracting or expanding. Now, we've got drought conditions out in the western part of the state. Not too bad, but down to our south into areas of South Dakota, western Nebraska, Kansas, into Colorado, and parts of Montana. Drought conditions are expected to actually expand here over the upcoming summer. How will that affect prices around our area at all, or not so much?
Well, when you have a weather, everybody says a weather influence can be a market driver.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and so futures markets, it's called fear, and they'll buy up and purchase, and that would actually be helpful to some producers. Futures market will be driven as far as drought. I was out in Montana recently, and there is no snowpack in the mountains.
Nothing.
Absolutely nothing. And if they don't get some type of a late season snowpack or some timely rains this spring, Houston, there is going to be a problem out there. And there's a lot of people that are in the industry that are watching that very, very closely. And I think a lot of planting decisions and what they're going to plant for a crop this year is going to be the $50 question, to be honest with you. Because if they're going to raise corn, they want to have some type of certainty that it'll make the crop. And some might go for a shorter maturing crop. This last snow that we had was very heavy in moisture because we had the rain first.
Right.
So that's going to be very beneficial for the quick start. But if we get rising temperatures, we could have wheat being planted the last part of March, believe it or not.
Right. And we were just talking about that earlier, that the LRC model that we use for long-term forecasting was pushing some 50s and maybe even some lower 60s here by the end of March. And most of April looks like we're going to have above normal temperatures too. So that would hopefully translate to an early start to planting this year.
That is correct. And farmers, they're the best at getting the crop put in the ground in a timely fashion. And it's got to be soil temperatures. It's got to be common sense. And they're going to be looking at that weather, and they're going to be looking at that forecast just to make sure that if they're going to put that corn in the ground, soybeans in the ground, what have you, that their planting intentions are going to be correct.
Right. Now, you had touched on government payments will be key on some operations for survival this year, sugar being one of them. Any other key areas that are really I guess you could say, depending on the government payments for survival?
Well, there's a lot of operations that don't have the key ingredients. You talk about corn, you talk about wheat, you talk about soybeans, and now sugar, but there's some others like the pea industry, the canola industry, things like that. There's going to be some people that are going to be looking for some assistance right there. And a lot of operations are really, really crunching the numbers. There's a lot of uncertainty. I was talking to a large seed dealer here a couple of weeks ago, and he said this was the slowest spring that he's had for seed orders in the last 5 years.
Any rhyme or reason?
He's thinking the uncertainty of what crop to plant, okay? And the other thing he equated it to, renewals. People that do not have their financing in order, these renewals are up to 4 to 6 weeks to get from start to finish. And if they don't have their operating in check, they're not going to be spending any money. So until they get their operating, until they get their blessing from the lenders and their positive cash flows established, they're not doing anything.
You think 2026, you think that's going to be better this year? I know there's a lot of variables, but overall, you think it's going to be a better year than last year?
Well, we always got to be optimistic, okay?
Right.
And, you're farming for show or you're farming for dough. And some of these operations are selling assets. We're not seeing any decline in the production ag land. Good quality ag land is still commanding a premium. Cash rents are not going down, so there's still an appetite out there for production agriculture to acquire more land. It's just in flux right now is basically the best word I could say. You never want to say the sky is falling. There's operations out there that are very successful, third and fourth generation family farms. I just feel bad for the young guy. And we're in that type of next man up, realizing that the next 10 years, the amount of production ag land that's going to transfer to a new owner is going to be staggering. Staggering, because my generation in the upper 60s is going to be eventually selling real estate. It's going to go to the next generation, okay? And if that next generation isn't in production ag, it's going to be going to somebody else. And who is that somebody else? Is it an investor? Is it another farm? We don't know.
Right.
But, there's a lot of optimism out there, especially springtime of the year. I tell you, my phone, we're doing a sale for Mark Glintz up at Botno. It's our first large sale of the spring. And my phone is literally blowing up from people throughout the country. Okay? Oh. So that just goes to reiterate the strength in production ag and the opportunity for a bargain. So we're selling a late model self-propelled sprayer that new's $1 million. Okay? Well, now they can buy it for half price. That's an opportunity.
I'd say.
Yeah, a heck of an opportunity. But you got to take advantage of it.
Right.
Because if you don't, the next opportunity you have is going to be going to the dealer, and they're going to be paying a soft retail price.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, Brad, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate your time.
That privilege to be here. Always
right.
nice talking to you.
All right, good
Take
deal.
care.
All right, well, it's time for a little break here. When we come back, we have got Nate Thorsrud of JLA Insurance, and if you have any questions for Nate, coming up 701-293-9000. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. And welcome back to Weather and Ag in Focus, 1:36 in the afternoon. Temperatures outside kind of just hanging in the teens with breezy conditions out there. Our next guest here, Nate Thorsrud. Nate, a familiar name with our station, and Nate is with JLA Crop Insurance. Want to thank you, Nate. First time in the studio here.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Welcome. And, well, we've got a couple of topics here we want to kind of go over here. One is about the One Big Beautiful Bill. They increase subsidies on optional and basic units. Explain to us how that affects everything.
Well, basically, it makes the premium for the farmer cheaper. It's they increase the subsidies on basic and optional units by 3% and 5%, and enterprise units up 3%. So basically, the government's paying more of the bill, so it's cheaper for the farmer. So
that's good news.
Yeah,
that's good news. Okay. And now in the bill, they also changed things for new farmers. Explain to us some of the things that they changed around.
So if you're beginning farmers starting from scratch here, it's called the Beginning Farmer Rancher Endorsement. It used to be only 5 years, and it was a 10% subsidy against your premium, and now they've extended it to 10 years, and year 1 and 2 is 15%. Year 3 is 13%, 4 is 11%, and then years 5 to 10, you get a 10% discount. So
that's good, and that's for newer farmers, you said, right?
Yep.
Okay.
If you've only been doing it 10 years or 1 to 10 years. So.
Good deal. And how long has this been in effect? This is just with the new bill, correct?
The 10-year thing. It was 5 years before that. So.
Okay, and the bill also dramatically increased subsidies as well. It went from 65 up to 80%.
Yeah, the SCO and ECO options, they're county-based plans, and they went from, it was subsidized at 65%, and now they bumped it to 80%, so it's quite a bit cheaper this year.
Okay. And what else has the bill changed? From what I'm reading here, you cannot select ARC and FSA and also have the SCO as an option. Is that correct on crop insurance?
No, that's not correct.
I'm sorry. See,
no,
that's why you're here.
Yeah. You used to not be able to have ARC and SCO as an option,
Okay.
but with the Big Beautiful Bill, you can now have ARC and SCO as an option on your policy. So
Good deal. Good deal. And you also sell a product called Clip. Explain that to us.
So Clip is basically works just like SCO. It's SCO is a county-based product, but Clip is individualized per farm. So instead of going off county yields, you go off your own yields, and it works basically just like SCO, except it's individualized for farmers. So
Okay. And you also have a private product called Band. Explain to us what Band is all about as well.
Band is a product that's not subsidized by the government. It's you can insure yourself up to 95%, customize it however you want. Maybe you could add a little more money onto a loss and get a little bump in price. They set the prices in the spring at like corn right now is tracking at $4.60. So if you had a loss, you'd get paid $4.60 a bushel. Well, with if you have Band, you could add a little bit more money to that. As long as you don't go over 100% of your crop value, you could add a little more money to your loss or whatever. So
Okay. Now, what about, do tariffs have any impact? We had the tariffs in place. Supreme Court kind of scaled that back, and the president wants to keep that going. How does that have any effect at all?
No, not with crop insurance per se. Well, I mean, the prices are bad, so
Right.
Yeah. I guess directly no, but indirectly, yeah. So.
Okay. And we have Todd on line one. Todd's got a question. Todd, go ahead.
Yeah, Nate, so I got a question with regards to the compensation on this crop insurance.
Yep.
You indicated in the Big Beautiful Bill that the subsidy to the producer, meaning the farmer,
Yep.
Increased
Correct.
to, I think you said, 65%?
No, the ECO and SCO plans went from 65 to 80% subsidy.
Okay, so in layman's terms, let's say the base premium is $100,000.
Yep.
Now, based on the new, what was it? How much would the farmer pay net on a gross premium of $100,000 under the old plan and now under this plan?
100,000. Well,
because of the subsidy?
if your premium was 100,000 total, at 65%, you'd pay a subsidy. You'd pay, what is it? I can make a calculator, 35,000, and then if you don't bump to 80, so it'd be down to 20,000. The farmer would pay. So
Okay, well, it's a great deal for the farmer.
yeah, for sure.
Question for you as a producing agent.
Yep.
Do you still get paid commission on the gross premium or the net?
They get it on the gross.
On the gross, you guys still got a good deal.
Yeah, well.
No, you got a great deal.
Yeah. Thanks so much, Todd. Thanks for your call. Appreciate it. Well, Nate, we're going to throw the floor to you. Any other topics you want to hit on?
Not really. I mean, if anybody's looking for quotes or just to sit down and visit, doesn't hurt to make a phone call. I'm always looking to visit with any farmer around who has questions or is curious about what I'm doing and whatnot. So I farm as well, so I kind of go through everything you guys do. So
Right. Now do you get more, I hate to use the word business or phone calls inquiring about crop insurance? Do you get it more when, let's say, okay, so we use the LRC for long-term forecasting. If we can see that drought conditions are going to be a for sure thing around our area, I'm guessing you get an uptick in calls and questions. Or not necessarily.
More so when it's wet, actually, for prevent plant stuff.
Really?
When it's dry,
Okay.
you can get everything in. So I've never seen anybody get a prevent plant claim on drought. It's always got to be wet.
It's always too wet.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Okay. Well, we'll see what happens for this upcoming spring.
yeah.
Yeah.
Should be good.
It looks like a pretty decent spring. I think there's going to be a lot of early planting. We're supposed to have above normal temperatures.
Yep. That'll be great.
As we head into spring, so that's good news.
Yep.
Nate, thank you so much for joining us here on Weather and Ag in Focus. Much appreciated.
Yep. Thanks for having me.
All right. And if anybody has any questions, best way to get a hold of you?
Yeah. Just call me 701-371-0311.
Excellent. Thanks so much, Nate. All right, when we come back, we're going to have another recap on our forecast. When's our next chance of measurable snow in the forecast? And we've got another pair of tickets to give away for our home and garden show this upcoming weekend. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. And welcome back to Weather and Ag in Focus on this Tuesday, February 24th. We're almost into meteorological spring, which starts this weekend. The 1st of March, meteorological spring starts. And, will it feel like it this weekend? No, it will not. It will feel more like we're still in the dead of winter, as we've got some pretty chilly weather today, with temperatures kind of stuck in the teens and pretty breezy conditions after a morning with freezing rain and some pretty slippery conditions. Now, tonight, we're going to bottom out in the single digits, and thankfully, winds will be lighter, and we're looking at generally partly cloudy skies. A little cooler tomorrow with temperatures in the mid-teens. Thankfully, winds will be lighter tomorrow, but then we warm up as we head into Thursday and Friday. With temperatures in the 30s. Not too bad. We'll melt away a little bit of this snow, a little more sunshine as well. And then windy conditions develop Friday on another Arctic front, and that will drop temperatures back into the teens as we head into Saturday. In fact, low teens. Many areas might not get out of the single digits on Saturday. And then we're back up into the upper teens to near 20 on Sunday. Next week, we do start to warm things up into the 20s and 30s, and we do stand a couple chances for snow next week. It looks like one coming in around Tuesday, and then we stand a chance for another storm system heading in here as we head into the end of next week. And that first about 10 days, 12 days in March, it looks like we'll see a couple storm systems that'll be riding out of the Rockies. We'll have to watch a couple of them. A couple of them could be some of those Colorado lows, and those are the ones we usually have to keep an eye on. This time of the year as we head into spring. They can typically pack a little punch, and our models are trying to pick up on that. And this would be something that's very similar pattern to what we had that second half of December, between the middle of December and that first week in January. That's the same pattern that's kind of cycling back here as we head into the mid-March. So we'll keep a close eye on that. And then, as we were saying earlier, after the middle of the month, we're going to get back into that ridge pattern that builds over the area, where we see above normal temperatures for the latter half of March and especially into the month of April. I do foresee a lot of above normal temperatures in April. Does that mean we won't see any snow in April? No, we'll probably squeeze one storm out of there, but more than likely we're going to see above normal temperatures most of the month of April. And if you didn't catch it earlier, we do see signs that by the end of March, we're looking at 50s and maybe some 60s around the area. So that'll be a nice little treat as well. All right, we got another pair of tickets to give away for the Home and Garden Show this weekend. Our trivia question earlier was, how many tornadoes did the state of North Dakota see during last year, during the severe weather season? And the answer was 82. Now, if you want a pair of tickets, you got to answer. Look at that. We've got a caller. We don't even know what the.
Click on the draw. Click on the draw.
Well, we did kind of hint at it. Is what county had the most tornadoes during severe weather
Readel
season?
County, final answer.
Yeah, of course you're going to say that. Caller, line one. What's your name?
Roger.
Roger, welcome to Weather and Ag in Focus. We've got a pair of tickets here for the Home and Garden Show. Which county had the most severe weather reports last severe weather season?
I thought it was going to be the tornado question.
Tornado. Yeah, tornado.
Like, the most tornadoes were in Grand Forks County and Burley County.
You are correct. See, yes, he was reading I'm guessing you were reading the article online.
I was. Yep.
Yep. And then Cass County right here, we were right behind it at 10. So it was definitely a pretty active severe weather season. So, all right, we're going to put you on hold. Addison is going to get some more info from you, and we'll have those tickets waiting for you down at our front desk. You know where our station is at, correct?
Yes.
All right, just swing.
All right.
Yep, swing by
Appreciate
during
it.
regular business hours, and Addison will get more info from you. Okay.
All right. Appreciate it.
Excellent.
Thanks.
All right. So if you want to know more on the tornado season and more stuff on that, log on to our website, WDAYradionow.com, and we've got a list of county by county how many tornadoes occurred during the severe weather season last year. Again, Burley and Grand Forks both had a tally of 11. Here in Cass County, we saw 10. Not far behind that, let's see, Ransom County, Sheridan County, both had 5. And other than that, just some single digits across the rest of the state, where the north central, northwestern part of the state, no reports of any tornadic activity. And it'll be interesting to see, like I said, how this upcoming season unfolds. But rest assured, doesn't look as active as last year. But I do see an above normal season due to the above normal temperatures expected. And we will see a few storms that'll be roaming through here. But again, if you're looking for snow, we're not done with snowfall this season. Obviously, it is only end of February. But it looks like we're going to start to get into a little more active part of the cycle here for the first 10 days in March. And then after mid-month, it looks like we do start to warm things up back to above normal. And we'll continue with that above normal trend all the way through the month of April. So good news there. So that will do it for Weather and Ag in Focus on this Tuesday. Want to thank everybody for joining us. But don't go anywhere. The Jay Thomas Show, that is coming up next.